Dr. Sachs, I'm concerned about those who have been vaccinated carrying and passing along the Delta variant. Is that possible?
While it's possible, it's far less likely than someone who is unvaccinated passing the virus on to other people. Several studies have now shown that the vaccines do this remarkable thing. They prevent people from getting sick from COVID, and they also reduce the likelihood that they'll have high amounts of virus to spread to other people. So one of the primary benefits of getting the vaccine is it protects everybody. So it's a public health initiative as well as a personal health initiative.
Inside a growing number of hospitals across the country, there is little doubt our nation has already entered a fourth wave, an explosive summer surge in COVID cases few predicted, fueled by the highly contagious Delta variant, now accounting for 83% of all new cases. The U.S. is already averaging 26,000 new infections a day, over 1,000 an hour.
The reason it's so formidable is the fact that it has the capability of transmitting efficiently from human to human in an extraordinary manner.
On Capitol Hill, the nation's top pandemic doctors said it's the unvaccinated accelerating the pandemic as deaths skyrocket by nearly 50%.
We have things open at 100%. Nobody's wearing masks.
With the highest infection rates in the nation, states like Missouri, Arkansas, and Florida have vaccination centers that are empty and hospital beds that are full.
How concerned are you that children will be at the center of the next surge in the fall?
Yes, I think that, there's that concern.
At the University of Alabama, Birmingham, the pediatric care unit was nearly forced to shut down after a flood of children suffering from respiratory viruses that usually spike and spread in the winter. Cases of RSV are surging as restrictions loosen and more children gather together, the same way COVID can.
People just be smart, be safe, try to protect yourself.
Now fearing a widespread fall surge, even vaccines are no guarantee against Delta's serious threat. We learned a fully vaccinated White House staffer and an aide to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi also tested positive for the virus after meeting with fully inoculated Democratic Texas lawmakers who flew maskless to Washington and suffered breakthrough infections. An evolving threat as the unvaccinated face a future that looked more like our past.
Honestly, I just didn't see the need for it. I just thought, well, I'm young and healthy, and I thought maybe I wasn't going to be as affected as other people that would be more at risk.
He's what public health experts describe as the movable middle. Adults that may have been initially skeptical of the vaccine, but aren't dead set against it.
1, 2, I'm done.
People like Sharon Landry.
I felt like I was being pushed into it, and when someone pushes, I push back.
Who became convinced after her adult son got sick. Why did you get it today as opposed to, say a couple months ago?
I just didn't feel like it was, with everything going on, I just didn't know I didn't do any research.
Around the country, roughly half of Americans are fully vaccinated, but daily vaccinations have dropped below 1 million. Louisiana is among the states with the lowest rates. 36% of the population here is fully vaccinated. Some parishes are below 20%.
I think there was a lot of misinformation that came out initially when the vaccine came out.
For those getting the vaccine now, it seems the choice is all the more personal. John Bartucci is expecting his first child later this year.
Movable middle. Public health officials say there are people in the middle who can move. That's where they want to go, and it looks like some members of Congress may actually be in that movable middle.
Yes, we'll get to that in a moment, but on the movable middle, Willie, this is so interesting because this is, there is a group of Americans who perhaps, as we heard the woman in Gabe's piece say, I felt pushed into it. She was listening to all sorts of information. Perhaps they followed Donald Trump's followers, and there's a lot of distrust and disinformation. Even though Trump himself got the vaccine, he didn't push it. He pushed a lot of distrust in the vaccine, and even recently has done that. And what the movable middle has now is they have been able to watch science play out before their eyes. And they see that the vaccinated are safer from this virus than the unvaccinated, and that those who are dying now are predominantly unvaccinated, those who are getting sick, and those who are having the Delta variant rip through their communities are unvaccinated and younger and sicker, and that is the science they can see before their eyes over the course of months, over the course of this year. It helps. And as Willie mentioned, the #2 House Republican finally got his first dose of the vaccine. Congressman Steve Scalise of Louisiana got his first shot this past Sunday. He had previously tested positive for COVID antibodies, but now with the Delta variant on the rise, he said, quote, "When you talk to people who run hospitals in New Orleans or other states, 90% of the people in the hospital with the Delta variant have not been vaccinated." That's another signal. The vaccine works. The House Minority Whip added that the vaccine is safe and effective. And thank you, Steve Scalise, for getting out in front of that. It doesn't matter when. It's important you do it.